It's incredibly hard to lose your home. It's hard enough to lose your home when you decide to move and give up the safety of having put down your roots somewhere and knowing that you belong in a place, to start again somewhere completely different. And that is, of course, much, much harder if you're going a longer way than if you're only going to the next door street. So when you're moving from one country to another and you really have no idea how you're going to fit in with the new culture and the new expectations that will be upon you, it's extremely nerve-wracking. It's very reassuring when you finally put down those new roots and you find a place to settle in and you rent or buy a home of your own again, and you make connections with people at work and your new neighbors, and you start to begin to create a home in which you feel safe and where you feel you can belong and where you feel you can make a contribution and where you feel you'll be appreciated and people will like you and welcome you and want to be with you and value your presence in the neighborhood or in the area or in the country. It is unthinkable how that feeling of starting to feel safe again can be completely undermined if people start to suggest that you shouldn't be here any longer because you're the wrong nationality. Despite the fact that you do your work, that you have made all this effort to belong, to contribute, to pay tax, to raise family. Despite that, some people think that they're entitled to questioning your right to be there, your well-earned right to be there. It's incredibly cruel for people to do such things. You could only possibly ever do that if you've never been in that situation yourself. If you have never taken that risk of starting again, if you have never moved your house from one place to another. When you have done so, you will remember how much support you need, how much safety you need in order to do so. And you would never undermine another person's need for that security and turn them into a kind of refugee. It's unthinkable. It's really quite bizarre that people feel entitled to bullying people in that way. But when it is an entire nation that does it, and it is a government that thinks it's okay to do so, it is as if people can no longer take anything for granted. It is as if normal, rational behavior and normal, basic human kindness are suddenly in question. It is as if the very human rights, the very fundamental safeties that we have established in the world are suddenly pulled apart and are in question. And when such a thing happens, anything becomes possible, because none of us are safe in a world where that is allowable, where people get away with that kind of bullying behavior, where safety, required safety, is suddenly in question. In a country where that is allowed, and where that is in fact encouraged by the state itself and by the government, you create a sense of insecurity for all concerned, not just for the people who have moved there and have trusted that nation, but for the very people who live in that country, whatever background, whatever nationality they are. Because the underlying hidden message is this country isn't safe. The people in this country can change their mind and can kick you out. They can start treating you as if you're a second-class person, as if you don't belong, as if you have no rights. If that can happen to me one day, it can happen to you tomorrow. All of us know this. All of us realize that if we start treating some people execrably, badly, unfairly, unjustly, then there is no safety for anyone else either. And that is why it is so crucial that we all take consciousness of this and awareness of what we are doing to our own situation, our own safety, and our own future. What sort of country do you want to live in? One where you can rely on the rule of law, where you can trust that promises made will be made good, or a country where everything can be ripped apart according to the feelings of a smaller group? It's something well worth thinking about, because this isn't just about Brexit and this isn't just about EU nationals. This is about all of us and what we want to make of this country for the future.